welcome to the Fanta podcast, episode 2 here at Chicagoland. I am Thunder 24 fan, Trix fan 56, and our guest dude's Castro Neves, and unfortunately Monster is out right now, so he unfortunately could not join us in this podcast, so Sean will be replacing him.
Yeah.
So, how are you guys doing today?
Good. Doing
Good.
very well.
Yeah, and I can tell, dudes, you're definitely doing pretty well. So are you, Trix fan, the team owner of
Mhm.
the the race winning car, um, the race winning car last night, and it just baffles me how one rookie in his first 2 starts can go 2 in a row. Nobody has ever done that before.
Mhm.
So honestly, it's mind blowing to say the least. So anyway, getting into the podcast. Topic 1. Tons of penalties thrown out after this race. So, um, yeah, so tons of penalties. So,
Yeah.
go ahead, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, two major penalties coming from the race at Chicagoland that we just had. And I guess, should we start off with our first one that happened?
Yep, first one that happened. Connor, um, intent wrecked, burn it down for a caution, and to make matters worse for him, he's not been having the best weekend. This I think would make it worse because his team and his for himself both got docked 25 points, and that puts him outside of the cutoff, behind Thunder by 6 points. A good break for Thunder because he was behind the cut line before Connor got
Mhm.
docked, and so yeah, um, and then yeah, so tough break for the 65, and then the 44 took out 2 Red Bull cars. He just turned left on the 95 at throttle and then wrecked him, and the then he came down to the 4 while he was in the he came down oncoming traffic, taking out the 4 and the 27, or not the 27, the 37. My apologies. Um, so and that him and Mark Motorsports, that resulted in a 65-point dock. So
Mhm.
a lot worse of a penalty, I think.
Mhm.
And let's also throw this in. Connor was given a 3-race probation, and Four Boy was given a 5-race probation for both of those incidents individually.
Yeah.
And
Well, let me say this really quickly. These drivers have been very aggressive. I mean, you guys saw, I believe, a couple races ago, someone also got a penalty. It's just been very weird. I mean, these connections feel like you can take a harder hit. The cars, how to say it, they don't take as much damage. So when you're going up into someone, you're like, oh, maybe I can actually give them a little bump and get through them. Maybe try and do a little bump and run. Maybe slide job them. But in those cases, it's just what you feel, not what the other driver feels. Maybe that driver feels loose because he bumped him, and they wrecked. Or maybe something happened pre-race. He got pissed at the guy, went and took him out. It's all these factors with these new cars. It's an insane season, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really. I really agree with you on that. There, it's been a really incredible season so far, and
yeah.
I
It's
think.
been.
Go ahead, Sean.
I'm just gonna say it's been a bunch of chaos that's been involved. Yes, with the penalties, but also how this racing has been, with how close everyone's been, and how it's been allowing these treads to produce racing at a different magnitude. It's with how it's been so far. With it's gonna be interesting how the rest of the season goes on.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and it's gonna be definitely, um, a lot. It's gonna be one heck of a season. Coming to the end of the regular season, actually. Not and just it's not just like, it's not just the regular season, but it's also gonna be the playoff season as we go on. So
I mean, look at all these winners. Let's look at this. Several different. We have obviously a back-to-back. Moth did it. A couple other different winners, and then we have rookie that comes in and wins 2 in a row.
that's
This is
true.
gonna lead most likely to the same. I want to say the same like of events. There's gonna be 3 other different winners, and then someone's gonna do it 2 in a row again. The All Star race is right after the big show at Talladega. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a fun one to watch. Everyone's gonna go aggressive. A lot of drivers really, really want to show their names and be up there in the leaderboard. Followed by that, you go back to Charlotte. I don't know how to say it. It's a track that produces great racing. It can be multi lanes. It can be almost anything. I mean, look at Dale Jr. That one year he lost gas on the last corners. This
Yeah.
race is going to produce a lot of fun. Could produce another wild winner. Then we go to a road course at the Glen. That's happening in real life with the actual Cup cars. That's going to be a great race. First road course of the season, I believe so. You guys have anything to say?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
let's just go on about the actual thing here because as you just threw it out, dude, Castroneves, you got back-to-back victories at Chicagoland. Let's just throw that out there right now. Let's just get into that conversation.
yeah, and back-to-back wins in his first 2 starts at Coca-Cola Super Speedway. Some people were doubting him coming into this race because they thought that he won at Coca-Cola, all to luck. I mean, some of it was part of luck, but a lot of it was a lot of with skill because you're taking turns into like I think 70 degree bank turns, 60 70 degree bank turns at 260 miles an hour, maybe a little bit over that, but it's just he basically he deserved to win at Coca-Cola, but then taking it on to a mile and a half, the first mile and a half to dudes ever ran, he wins the race there, coming from 30th, I think, for the first portion of the race, and that set him into getting his second victory, and it's just been incredible effort by that team. So, not just for him, but for Trix Fan Racing as well. But unfortunately, Coley got the boot for that, but Coley was already underperforming in that 19 car. But I can't wait to see what Castroneves has to do and has in store for us in the rest of the regular season and for the rest of the season as well. And
Yeah, you're exactly right. But let's go back to last week when we had our first episode because here's the thing: dude was talking about how he was so confident going to the next race that he had, and he goes to Chicagoland, and he was thinking he was going to get another win. He technically called his shot. If we can say that, right?
Yeah.
Let me be honest with all of you guys. I was thinking that we were going to, or that my next race was going to be Dega. If I'm being honest.
But surprise, surprise, you got the
It
call
was
to go to
Chicagoland.
Chicagoland.
Let me be honest. It isn't my favorite track, but it's an interesting track compared to the others. I mean, IndyCar used to run there. I'm pretty sure. Close finishes, great racing. Never watched a Cup race there. I know a lot of people have nostalgia for that, but to go there, run on the oval, to finish first back to back at 2 completely, I don't want to say completely different tracks. You do have to lift a bit more, Chicagoland, but 2 completely different tracks from its actual state because you all know that next year Cup is probably going to be running the road course. It's a problem because of current issues, but
Um,
hopefully it can stay. And it's a great track. I enjoy it.
Well, that track is good. It's just really, really that race was again chaotic with how those reds were happening, and also how it had to come down to also a little bit of fuel strategy because some guys did run out of gas in the last 2 laps. So that's interesting how these races have been.
Yep, definitely. And yeah. So Castro Neves 2 for 2, and we'll hopefully see what he has to what he has in store for us in the next part of the season. And let's move on to our next topic, which is Castro Neves. Okay, so for the guys in Fanta, I just posted points, but they're gonna have to be edited because Trix fan told me right after that Castro Neves would be getting Coley Boy's points because Coley was sitting out for the rest of the season as Castro Neves will take the 19 car, and it was Trix fan's decision to give Castro Neves Coley's points, and that puts Castro Neves into 19th, um, 12 points back with 100. Actually, no. Let me start over. With 146 points, 12 points back from the cut line spot, which is surprising to me. So I guess I have a target on my back for the next couple of races. So.
Mostly that's a target for anyone to try to go for. It's unless you're ahead of it. That's saying, but
Just
I
wait
guess
till the
that's
road courses.
true. But Coley getting mostly taken out of the Cup ride, mostly by his performance wise. He just hasn't been performing as well. Plus, he got in trouble back at Atlanta, so that's kind of also why this decision was probably made.
Yep, and yeah, so yeah, pretty bold move for Trix fan, but it's definitely paid off a lot for Dudes Castro Neves, and he's definitely gonna have a shot at the playoffs. And I think a lot of people think that even with 2 starts, he's probably gonna have a really good shot at making the playoffs.
Yeah, he'll just have to make sure he stays consistent here for the rest of the regular season here, because remember, this thing is you have to be in the top 16 in the points.
Yep, you do have to be top 16, and that's the rule. That's how it's always been for the Fanta Cup series. So I don't think it's ever gonna
And
change anytime
Commander
soon. Go ahead.
and Brick. Wait, go ahead, Thunder.
No, you go ahead.
Brick is asking in the chat, does Castro Neves think he can go back to back to back?
Oh, okay. What do you
Asking
say,
if
Castro Neves?
No questions asked. We're going to Alabama, baby.
Yep. So
here's
go ahead.
that's going to be an interesting thing here because, again, as we said earlier, in the history of Fanta, and we talked about this also before we started this, in the history of Fanta, nobody has gone 3 in a row in between the times of season 4 to this current season.
Season 6?
Yeah, to season 6. Nobody's gone 3 in a row. The highest we've gone was 2 in a row.
And to my knowledge, there's only been 3 drivers to have gone 2 in a row in season 4 to now.
And that,
Two of
and
them
one,
were
And only one has done it as a rookie, so it's never impossible. That was something new.
but Castro Neves, you made history by being the first ever rookie to go 2 for 2 in their first ever season and in their first 2 starts. So I don't think anybody's gonna be rewriting the history books in that case.
That
probably
history
not.
mark won't be changed. But if he can make another history mark by winning a 3rd race, that will be something insane to think about if he can get to that part.
Something we're going to be talking about for a while.
Remember
Yeah.
last week? I said the same thing.
Oh yeah, speaking of wins,
As long as we have a good car, We have a good team. Now we have a better team, better crew chief, and everything. We have an upgrade. 78. Yes, awesome team, great calls and everything. But I think with a better team, better calls, a better car too, I want to be up there fighting at least to get to the championship four. Maybe out of contention, but why not try?
Uh,
Definitely,
really,
you gotta try. You gotta try at least a little bit to get up there, and it's been a huge effort from all of you so far at X-Man Racing, and I'm saying that from, me who owns my team, and you guys are a really good fight for I think you guys are gonna be in contention for that constructors title soon. I think.
yeah, there is a good
All
chance.
we really have to catch is 5-hour energy. So
I mean, where's Red Bull at?
It,
ahead, sure, but
it,
we don't know what the constructors look like after Coca-Cola yet because I haven't
yeah,
got them notified.
yeah, right now constructors are unknown
I
at the
mean,
moment.
you could send me points, and I will. You could send me constructors points, and I'll do them. No worries.
I can do them. I can do them.
All right. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's You know what? Should we add a fifth topic? I feel like we should.
Yeah, let's add another topic. Out
Silly
of
season.
Silly season. Oh yeah, that's
I
a.
was about to say since I'm
That's a good
back
one.
from
Yeah.
Oh
school.
yeah, silly season is already gone insane for next season.
Yeah.
Silly season.
Oh.
Not
Well,
only for the Cup Series, but I want to break the news. I'm trying to find a manufacturer that wants to bring a team to either ARCA, Truck, or Xfinity.
for part time.
Yep, maybe full time, but at the moment only looking for
Well,
part-time.
since you're going to Cup for next season, you're gonna have to look for a part time. But well,
No, like owning
well,
a team.
oh, only a team. Ooh,
yeah.
okay. That we'll see about that.
Anyway, so
I mean, you can do that.
back to silly season.
Let's talk about the silly season.
The field is already packed, I think. So
Let's look at. Hang on, I can read off the team rosters because I feel like actually doing something in this
You don't
podcast
have to.
thing.
You don't have to read off everything, man.
Yeah, don't read
I
out the
feel like-
drivers. Just read out the team.
I mean,
Oh.
I just think that let's just talk about some huge moves in the silly season. A Red Panda
Yeah.
racer
Well,
making his first full-time season in the number 11 for Monster Boss Motorsports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Gaming Freak, who's been a full-time competitor, now going part-time.
And Brandon Beal, a NASCAR fan, and BP has switched over from. Those three have been on different teams, and now they're going to be, on the same team on Monster Boss Motorsports. BP driving the 4, Beal driving the 14, and NASCAR fan driving the 10. So
Yes, as NASCAR fans going back to a full-time basis.
And let's check the Truex Fan Racing out. You saw, obviously, Dudes Castro Neves, and a little bit of a change on the lineup roster for Jaden, who's driving the number 46 instead of the 25.
I'm gonna tell you, I did not expect that 46.
Yeah.
Because I have taken the 25 on All Miss Rebels Racing, so it's only for this season though, because that's the deal between me and Truex Fan.
Not to mention that, well, seeing everything only how I see it because, of course, it's my team. I feel like another big move is Dr. Pepper Park making his first full-time season.
Yeah, full-time season. Going to Texas Motorsports in the number 28.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper Pog, he's had a, I think, semi-decent shell season, but we're going to have to see how he does in the Cups.
I mean,
series.
the most recent shell race says otherwise, but anyways.
Let's also, how about the partnership between Outlaw and Mark Motorsports?
Yeah, it's just going to be Mark and Outlaw, the two drivers on that team, and the field is already set for next season.
Yeah.
And
Already filled up. That's insane.
And
Mhm.
so yeah, Nemco is the new team with Dre driving part time as a 47, or not the 47, the 87. So
Can we also throw this in? Daniel Boyle's going from a part-time driver now going to be a full-time driver in the 16 for next season.
Yeah, but as I was gonna say, um, we have a couple new teams and a lot of new changes. 5 Hour Energy Racing putting Zach in the 68, and now Floppa is going full time. Now nicknames that which horse is nicknamed to be part time in that 30 car.
Which it's not all we're gonna hear about nickname because there has been other news going around that he landed a full-time ride in the truck series.
With TMS,
Uh,
I'm guessing.
I think that's what we heard, but let's also throw this other team out there, 23-7 Racing, the partnership of Bias Billy Fan and Zebel.
Yeah, Bias Billy Fan driving the 23-32's EXO, 45 Quadruped, and the 54 Zebel. So I think it's going to be kind of like, this team is definitely going to be like 23-11 if you think about it. And
Yes, somewhere like that.
a lot of stuff like that. And
Yeah,
Chip Ganassi
we
Racing is stacked as well. Aztec, Drifting Strikers, and Monaco, all of them are rookies.
With Leo being the only veteran of that team, and he's more than likely he will be the owner of that team for that season. So
Yeah, he will be, as Sean is giving up ownership of just what
just
did I just say right there? I don't even know what I just said.
For a
nah.
moment.
Anyway,
Well,
so my
it's just another thing of a brain fart. Don't worry.
yeah, my fault. Anyway, so I was gonna say, Leo or Sean giving up the team ownership of Chip Ganassi Racing, giving it to Leo for next season. So Leo's gonna own that team.
As I'm heading back down to running just my team, only doing it in shell and trucks.
And also, new lineup for my team next season, which I'm not driving for actually.
Surprisingly,
Michael Corvettis Racing, which is has some pretty a really stacked squad, I must say. I don't know if I should call it squad, but like, you know.
An interesting lineup, we can say that for a fact.
Like Matthew, he was when the Circle K Cup Series existed, he was the first ever champion in that, and Legends has also won a championship in the Body Armor Cup Series, one of the leagues that came after the Circle K Series, and Legends won the championship in that in the second season, and Slinky has won 2 Daytona 500s, or actually no, he's won 1 Daytona 500 in the Body Armor Cup Series, and iRacing Fan, he's gotten a win in this series all the way back in season 3, so a long time ago. But it was at Richmond, and short tracks are basically his bread and butter, I think.
Yeah,
So,
but there's going to be something interesting to see it. And here's the thing: all these teams are just going to be changing here, but all the teams in Cup are set. Everywhere else, we don't know about just yet because we're so
pretty much
early
what I
on.
can confirm out of my shell team, Apache will be staying with us next season.
Okay, so Dale Apache. Okay.
However, he will not be in the 47. He will be in the returning 91.
and Team Penske as well. Team Penske has also had an update. Brick, I know you're watching this, I think. So you obviously know. So Commander Brick has given up the O2, and which Slick Flame was gonna originally drive that car, but he has actually put Slick Flame in the 22, replacing Hero for next season. So unfortunately, Hero is gonna be out of the Fanta Cup Series next season. Hero was the first ever Cup Series. Actually, no, he was the second Cup Series champion. Outlaw was the first.
Yeah.
So, yeah, unfortunate for him, but it's gonna be a wild season with a lot of new lineups, I think, for the silly season.
Yeah. Yeah, and
then-
that's. Oh, I'll let you go ahead, Connor.
Yeah. We've yet to see what the full entire news of silly season when it comes to shell and even trucks is yet. But I can tell you right now, I got I got pretty much every single part of my team ready for next season. And I also want to jump back about the whole thing on nickname. That news was about the news that I was talking about is the fact that I was able to sign him a full-time ride in the 91 F-150.
Ooh.
He's going full-time for my team in the Truck Series next season. I'm also planning on moving 2 of my current Cup drivers down there, those being Reese and Zawolf. And then, oh boy, this is going to be fun. Okay. For those of you that, sorry, my throat's kicking my backside again, but I can still be able to talk. For those of you that have watched this series back, like in the prior season, season 5, you might have remembered how Gaming Freak was on my Cup team in the number 28.
Yeah.
Let's just say on a part-time schedule in the Truck Series next season, he's coming back.
Oh, return for Gaming Freak in the Voyager Truck Series. Interesting.
And guess what? Same number. He's going to be in the number 28.
Very interesting indeed. So, yeah, pretty interesting silly season. I think almost, every single team has changed their lineup. I think. Like,
Yeah, almost, but really, Cup is all technically set.
yeah,
The
Cup
other
is set.
series, well, yeah, Cup is set. Everywhere else, no.
And I'll tell you, for me, it was a tough time getting my numbers onto my team because I had to negotiate with 3 different team owners. I know Connor was one of them. And Trixman, I know you were the other one.
Yeah, wasn't it about the whole thing with like who was going to get the 28?
Yeah. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. I meant fortunately. I had that decision. I had resolved because Slinky said he would take the 21 if he couldn't take the 28, because that is his football number IRL. So
Yeah, there was a lot. Yeah, there was some stuff that I had to do. If you basically think about it, my team and Monster Boss Motorsports are technically going to be aligned next season.
Yep. And speaking of Monster, I had to negotiate with him to take the number 5 because I know he wanted that on his team. So
And this wasn't really a negotiation per se, but I had to have a talk with Kenyon first before I signed nicknames just to make sure he was okay with it.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, so I had to fight to get all 4 of my numbers, cause 93 I just barely got before Dre tried to take it for BK Racing, which is gonna be non-existent after this season. But also I had to fight for the 90 as well, cause well, actually, I didn't really have to fight for the 90 that much, because I know, Connor, you were giving it up. So.
Yeah, and mostly right now, with how all the teams are going to be for next season, it's going to be kind of weird who's going to be where.
Yep, and we're talking about all the silly season, but yeah, so it's gonna be different with the lineups and stuff.
And no one really talks about Arca
Yeah.
That's
true on that.
That's
because everyone just forgot that Arca exists.
Yeah, we just have not gone. We haven't had another ARCA series race. That's the thing.
And I'm not even sure if we will. It's just. I started my school year already, and I'm just gonna say it's gonna be hard for me to, I'll let you go, Connor, after this. So, yeah, it's just gonna be hard for me to, host the ARCA races with all the, the stuff I have to do this year. So.
And it's also going to be difficult for decisions that I have to make for my team, because I'm also. This is just my second week of school. Here's the thing, though. I need to make sure every moment of this counts because this is my final school year. I'm a senior now, so I really need to make sure I make the right decisions. Like outside of this league, I need to make sure I make the right decisions and just work hard and stuff
Yep, I know you were yeah.
because
I like cheese.
because
We know that. We know that.
because once like sometime during the final week of May next year arrives, I don't know what I'm gonna do for my future. I mean, and yes, you know, I might as well release it to the public beyond this server right now, but I plan to. I've been planning about this for pretty much a little while now. I'm basically going to be hanging up the gloves and putting the helmet on the shelf for good after season 10.
Oh.
Well, that.
And there might be a little bit more onto that. I just need to make sure if it's fine with me to go through with it first.
All right. Well. Wow.
So, yeah, so possible retirement announcement in the coming 5 seasons. Well, you still
Yeah.
got a lot of time to change your mind, Connor, so we'll wait for an announcement prior to
If
that.
I feel like, I mean, the retirement announcement I made like a few weeks ago was just like a, eh. It's like a really not sure, but I might be on. But I might have made my final decision.
Well.
However, there can be changes, and if I still feel like I want to keep on going, I might keep on going.
Uh,
Hey, if
Well-
you ever want to sell your team, I mean,
Hell no.
well.
I am keeping my team. I didn't say I was gonna retire. I wasn't gonna. I didn't say I was gonna stop being a team owner once I retire. Okay.
Well,
we do a little trolling.
Well, hey, can since we're on that sort of thing, can I throw in something else that only a couple of you guys know about?
Yes.
I told you guys, and now this is going to go out publicly.
What?
I have been thinking about this season being my last season as a full-time driver. That is right now, though, unknowing. I'm thinking about hanging up after the season, but I'm gonna think about it still. As an owner, though, I'm gonna have if I do retire, my main focus will be on owning a team. But that's mostly it.
So 2 possible retirement announcements.
me too.
I'll tell you what, it's gonna be sad to see you guys go, because you 2 are, I'm just gonna say it on the podcast, you 2 are amazing drivers in the Fanta Cup series, and you guys have, performed well over the past seasons that I've raced you guys in. So it's been a it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, but again, for me, mostly if I don't decide to retire, I might just be focusing on the lower series still. Since
Well, will you run in
Yeah.
show?
Hell.
that might be a possibility. I don't know though.
Go ahead, Connor.
Listen, I'm just gonna come out and say I never thought I would make it. I would make it this far in this series.
Hey,
3 seasons ago, I was just a fill-in driver for Monster's team. It wouldn't, and then season 4, I get my first 2 wins. I get my 3rd win in season 5, and also lock in that damn championship.
Yep.
And I don't know and season 6 is still going on. I don't know what's happen from there on out. I did not really expect to. I'm pretty much a legend if you think about it now.
I mean, yeah, you are pretty much a Fanta Cup Series legends, along with the other five drivers, or actually no, the other four drivers that have won a championship in the Fanta Cup Series. They have probably made their way into the Hall of Fame, which we haven't even started yet. But here's the thing about the Hall of Fame: if we do create a Hall of Fame, you're probably gonna be up there, Connor. And
I better be a valedictorian, okay? You hear me?
yeah, yeah, I think so.
The inaugural Fanta Hall of Fame class of 2022.
When we ever think about the Hall of Fame sort of idea.
Y'all will probably be thinking about that, like, it's probably gonna happen, like, after I retire or something.
Yeah, that's true, but that idea will probably be later down the line.
But speaking of champions, it's gonna be a mixed bag of guys who are going at it to win the championship this season, I think.
Yeah. Let's throw that into consideration as well, because points have shaken up in Fanta.
Yup, points have really shaken up, and I still have yet to post the updated points with Dudes, Castro Nevis, and P19.
But every week has just brought in something different, which I think we were all hoping for that. And glad we're getting that. We're getting all these sorts of shakeups, and they're not so late into the season. They're pretty early.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Also, yeah. It's gonna be a wild season to watch. Wild rest of the season.
Yeah, and it starts at Talladega, and we all know how that race is gonna go.
Gonna be a random draw for the winner at the end.
Yeah, it's a random bag that's gonna get mixed up, and really, whoever's at the front there, that's gonna have the right strategy, right momentum, it makes the right call there, and survives all the chaos, especially the unknowing of a big one.
Yep, and I still have a lot of testing to go before we even get to Talladega, because I'm just gonna tell y'all there's gonna be a lot of work to do getting the cars to race pretty clean at Talladega. But with the new 2021 Talladega that Leo handed to me, it's honestly better than the 2019 Talladega, because they don't hit the wall and stuff. But it's gonna be a wild one. Every Talladega race has been wild. I think, in your opinion, what's the best Talladega race for you guys?
Oh, that we've had.
Yes.
Yes. My answer. Yes.
I'm gonna go back to last season and the playoff race. Aqua winning that race. That was a good race, especially when it got near the end where lap traffic became such a problem.
That was Orlando.
No.
Yeah,
no.
lap traffic also played a factor at Talladega.
Lap traffic played a factor until second was able to get past the lap traffic, and then it became a fight to be up there at the front, and it came down to who was able to get out front at the right time. And yeah, it was a great race back then, and that was probably just something people liked about that one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, so it's gonna be a wild one heading into Talladega, especially because Talladega is closer to the end of the regular season. But let's talk about this on the schedule: Daytona as the second race of the round of 16.
You just throw in a wild card right into there immediately.
Yeah, I think so.
Because here's the thing: the playoffs start first off with New Hampshire. That's not much of a wild card. in the end of the first round, you got Gateway. Not much of a wild card either. But Daytona is going to bring something interesting. And
Especially
really, that's
so-
going to be the difference maker, really, of the entire first round.
Yeah, especially with the truck regular season finale being Talladega. So
But having Daytona as the second race of the playoffs, that's just going to create something interesting for how the rest of the first round of the playoffs is going to play out.
I mean, I would say the truck playoffs are pretty interesting too. I mean,
That's probably true, but just
Well,
for
yeah. So yeah. I mean, everything's gonna be pretty interesting heading into the playoffs, and to end it off, for this episode of the Fanta Weekly podcast, because it's already been 40 minutes. So to end it off, I just gotta say thanks to everyone for watching. And last question for you guys: who do you think will win the next race at Talladega?
that's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. The Mitts bag it's going to be hard to pull a winner out of that.
is I mean, considering that like you would think someone would win, and then by the end they're not even a factor. So it's really
Yeah.
a random draw for the winner. So just like it is every week, practically.
But except for normal tracks like what we just had at Chicagoland, that's not mostly a mixed bag.
You could have predicted the winner until Ford Boy decided to wreck throttle, but
For Talladega, yeah, you can't.
you can't really predict that until the tri-oval. Until the
Yeah.
last
Well,
the last tri-oval turn.
Yeah, until you're coming out of the tri-oval and making the way towards the line.
Yep, and we will see what will happen next week at Talladega on next week on Sunday. So I just gotta say, goodbye everybody. Thanks for watching, and we will see you at Talladega. I'm Thunder24 fan. Dudes, Casher Neves, AutoCat, Trix Fan, and Sean for the Fanta Weekly podcast.